wrestling fans? The Bish here, your host of the BWF Wrestling Podcast. And as you can see, I am back in the BWF studios just in time for Summerslam 2024. And if you haven't had the chance to watch the show, I'm going to take you through it right now. The pay-per-view started with the WWE Women's World Title, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. We get some mind games at first with Liv making Rhea chase her around, get a little cat and mouse. By the time they finally lock up, Rhea takes down Liv with a couple of clotheslines. Mommy is stalking her prey across the ring. We get a vicious headbutt, and Liv counters the riptide. Rhea gets driven into the turnbuckles, and she is saying that her shoulder is dislocated. Oh boy. Liv Morgan actually dominates this match for the next few minutes until Rhea is outside of the ring, and she actually runs herself into the announce table, popping her shoulder back into joint. She gets back into the match where she just takes control. She actually before I get into more of the match, I just want to make a side note here. This is where we actually see her very first taste of the referee cam. They actually have a camera taped to the referee's ear, and we get to see some live shots in the ring and out in the crowd. It's actually pretty cool. I dig it. Let's see. Rhea goes for a second riptide, and it is countered into a DDT. And we get some back and forth action here, and Rhea applies a submission move. But Liv does get back on the attack with a near fall and her own armbar submission. Rhea then picks her up and gives her a power bomb. We get mommy chants. Liv headbutts Rhea and grabs a steel chair, but eats a big boot and a riptide. But there's no cover yet. Rhea grabs the steel chair, but Dirty Dom, he takes it from her. He's saying that she can't use the chair to win the championship. He has to go pin her. Morgan takes advantage of this distraction, and she hits a Oblivion. Near fall, 2 count. Rhea kicks out, but then Dominic goes to referee and distracts him, and as he's doing that, he sets the chair up for Liv, who hits another Oblivion. She hits the 1-2-3 on Rhea Ripley, and after the match, we see Dominic and Liv make out. It has been a plan all along. He has swerved Rhea Ripley, and poor Rhea is devastated. This was a great start to the show, I thought. 3 stars. But then a correction, Pat McAfee calling Dom a dirty piece of shit actually is really great, and it brought the score up just a little bit more. So 3.25 stars to start the show. Next, we have the Intercontinental Championship between Sami Zayn and Bron Breakker. Breakker charges first thing and hits the ring post. Zayn with a flip over the top rope. He heads back on top, but Breakker gains the advantage with the big Steiner line and Frankensteiner off the top rope. I love that move. We get to see some counters and some back and forth action before Sami hits a exploder suplex. But then Bron Breakker, he gets up and he spears Sami before he can go for the haluva kick. Breakker's given some serious Ken Shamrock and Kurt Angle vibes here. He takes down the straps, hits the ropes at 23 miles an hour with the second spear. 1-2-3, new Intercontinental Champion. That was short, sweet, and to the point. I actually liked it. 2 3/4 stars. Next is the U.S. title match between Logan Paul and LA Knight. Logan Paul comes out with MGK, who looks like he belongs in a late 90s Lip Biscuit video. Side note, why is the champ coming out first? Come on. LA Knight arrives in the primetime truck and busts out the windows. Paul attacks before the bell, and we get a brawl outside of the ring. Paul is thrown into the prime station. We get a standing fireman carry into a neck breaker on top of the announce table. That didn't break, by the way, from Knight to Paul. The match finally starts because the bell didn't ring at this point. Paul counters a suplex and throws Knight into the ring post. Paul with a gut-wrench suplex of his own, and that was for a 2 count. Then we get a flapjack powerbomb for another 2 count. Paul showing he can actually wrestle a fundamental match. Knight gains the advantage again with a rock bottom. Top rope elbow drop for a 2 count. Paul has a black eye, it seems. It's really starting to swell. Then he hits a springboard moonsault out of nowhere, and holy moly, that was incredible. Very athletic. Big right hand by Logan Paul. The Knight jumps up and hits the most brutal superplex I have ever seen. It was actually more like a super brain buster. It looked sick. MGK ends up handing Paul some brass knucks. Knight goes for a suplex, and he gets hit in the head with the knucks, but he basically no-sells it, hits the BFT, and pins Logan Paul for the 1-2-3, new U.S. champion. Fun match. I liked it. 3.5 stars. Next, we have the WWE Women's title, Nia Jax versus Bayley. Not looking forward to this one. Hopefully it's short. It was not. In the first 5 minutes, we see a Samoan drop, a stink face, and some leg drops for a 2 count. This match is slow AF. Nia goes for a second rope and misses the leg drop. Bayley to belly for a 2. Sit down Uranagi from Nia. Banzai drop for a 2 count. Multiple headbutts by Nia and starts trash talking. She charges, misses, and hits the ring post. This crowd is dead. Nia catches Bayley with the suicide Nia catches Bayley's suicide dive. The action returns to the ring, and then Tiffany Stratton's music hits, and the crowd finally comes alive. Tiffany makes it to the ring apron, where Bayley knocks her off. Nia takes advantage of the distraction, hitting 2 very nice Kevin Nash-like power bombs. Then she hits 2 banzai drops, or as they call them, annihilators, and we get the 1-2-3 for a new women's champion. That match was hot dog crap. 1.5 stars, and I'm being generous. The next match is CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, and this is the one I've been looking forward to the most. Seth Rollins comes out first, looking like a Beetlejuice / Shawn Michaels / I don't know. He's got his big puffy shoulder pads on. His attire never ceases to amaze me. Drew McIntyre comes out and he takes his sweet time walking to the ring, almost like what The Undertaker used to do with that slow, methodical strut. That walk, that pace. CM Punk comes out and he is dressed up in Bret Hart attire, so they are really going for the SummerSlam 97 feels in this match. Everything that they do seems like it's somehow an homage to that match. We start off with some chops, kicks, and punches. Punk clotheslines Drew over the top rope to the outside, where he throws Drew face first into the post. They start brawling into the announce area. Punk throws Drew into the post again. Rollins is laughing at the carnage. Punk is just bashing Drew's head into the steel steps over and over. Drew gets up and swings Punk head first into the announce table, kind of like what Samoa Joe did to Punk at All In last year. After that, CM Punk is underneath the ring, and Drew does a slingshot, and Punk's throat catches the steel support under the ring. Pretty cool spot. Drew throws him into the ring, but Rollins refuses to count. He says to Drew that he wants him to beat up Punk some more. We get more chops and a belly-to-belly suplex, a slap to Punk's face, and a powerbomb by Drew. Then a sit-down powerbomb for a 2 count. Drew grabs a chair. Back in the ring, Drew tells Rollins to let him use it, or he asks Rollins to let him use it. Rollins actually stops him from using it, and we get a fake SummerSlam 97 finish before Drew hits a neck breaker. Nice touch. Drew breaks out the bracelet that he has stolen from CM Punk with his wife's and dog's name on it. Jesus. We get a missed Claymore and a neck breaker by Punk. 3 running knees in a row. A clothesline on Drew. Punk goes to the top. Hits a Macho Man elbow that looked like crap. He just missed him. Punk sees the... Punk hits or puts on the Anaconda Vice, but he sees the bracelet in the middle of the ring, and he lets go of the hold to go pick up the bracelet. What do you think is going to happen here, folks? That's right. He eats a Claymore, but we get a 2 count. Drew, he runs and charges at Punk, but he misses, and he goes into the post shoulder first. Rollins, at this point, is now wearing the bracelets. We get a ref bump, and then we get a GTS. We haven't seen the GTS in years. We get a GTS on Drew McIntyre. Drew does kick out after a delayed count. Rollins and Punk start to argue, and then all of a sudden Punk hits a GTS on Rollins. Punk takes the bracelet. Then we get a low blow by Drew. He kicks him right in the nards. Claymore to Punk. And Rollins counts to 1, 2, 3. After that, Drew grabs the bracelet again, puts it on, and leaves. This is a great story. I love all the SummerSlam 97 feels. Great match. 3.5 stars. Next, we have the WWE World Title with Gunther versus Damian Priest. Are we going to see a Priest botch? Let's find out. Gunther looks cool, calm, and collected. Priest starts with a right hand. We see back and forth chops, kicks, strikes, and a flatliner on Gunther. Priest decides not to jump over the top rope this time. Smart idea. Instead, he just goes outside the ring and jumps off the ring steps and sledgehammers him in the back instead. Action gets back into the ring, and Gunther takes advantage for a moment with a chop and a suplex on Priest. There's a methodical pace going on here. We see more chops, and then we see a superplex attempt from Priest to Gunther before he hits a Hurricane Rana. Broken arrow and a 2 count. The crowd is actually booing Priest at this point. Some kicks to Gunther. After a back and forth exchange, Gunther's chest is bleeding. Chops to Priest. Kicks and forearms from Priest. Gunther hits a drop kick and a powerbomb for a 2 count. As you can tell, there's some pretty good, decent back and forth action going on here. Gunther would pick it up with a flurry of clotheslines and strikes, and then my power goes off. God, are you kidding me? By the time my power comes back on, I see Finn Balor on the outside of the ring. Damian Priest is hitting a razor's edge and a south of heaven, and then Finn Balor puts Gunther's foot on the bottom rope, breaking up the pin. Priest sees this on the replay. He is distracted. Gunther takes advantage of this and locks in a sleeper. Priest does counter into a pin, but it is for no use as he is powerbombed, and then the sleeper is put back on Priest. Priest is out. We have a brand new World Heavyweight Champion in Gunther. Pretty good, but not great, so 2.5 stars. Finally, we get to the main event of the evening, where we have Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes in Bloodline Rules for the undisputed WWE Championship. Solo makes his way to the ring, and then we see Cody in the back on his bus, heading to the entrance area with his dog Pharaoh. This is Pharaoh's last dance. Oh, poor Pharaoh. I wonder what The Rock will have to say about that. On the way to the ring, he actually runs into Arn Anderson. What a surprise. Arn gives him a pep talk. And then after that, Cody gives the dog away. He puts on his American Nightmare jacket, hugging the lady who made it. The seamstress for WWE, I do believe that's what it was, who she was. They are really trying to make Cody seem like the just whitest of baby meat faces you can possibly do and have on TV. And I don't know if it's working, to tell you the truth. He's not getting the reactions that he used to, that's for sure. That being said, there's no advantage for each man, or for any man, to start the match. Cody does manage to hit a suicide dive, but Solo is still one step ahead as Cody goes for a second, and Solo stops him in his tracks. Back in the ring, we see a spin kick by Solo for a 2 count. Samoan drop, a second Samoan drop for a 2 count. Cody blocks the Samoan spike and hits a Cody cutter. On the outside, they brawl into the Prime Station again. Back in the ring, drop down right by Cody and a bionic elbow. Sit down powerbomb from Solo for a 2 count. So we're getting some decent back and forth. Then we get a hip attack on Cody, and a huge rock bottom on Cody for a 2 count. A nerve pinch does slow the match down for a little bit. Then we see another Samoan drop for 2. Running headbutt by Solo. He's just absolutely dominating this match at this point. Another running headbutt, and then he misses a third attempt. We see a whisper in the wind-like move from Cody to Solo. They exchange rights. Another big rock bottom for a 2 count. Solo to the top rope, but Cody meets him up there for a superplex. The crowd is actually dead, not getting any reaction up to this point. Cody brings the steps into the ring, but eats a spear for 2. Hip attack into the steps, or a hip attack attempt into the steps, missing Cody. Cody hits 2 crossroads, and Jacob Fatu comes out and interferes. He hits a beautiful moonsault, 2 count on Cody, super kick to Cody, and then there's a big splash from Fatu from the top rope through the announce table, and it looks like Fatu is legitimately injured in this spot. He could not put weight on his leg after the show, and he had to be helped to the back. So he might have a broken leg. Not good. Solo would put Cody back into the ring, and then hit another splash from the top rope for a 2 count. Solo would go for a Samoan spike, but instead Cody would block it and hit a Cody cutter. And then, oh my, here we go, Roman Reigns. His music hits, the crowd goes crazy, they go banana, and he makes his way to the ring. But who is he here for? Is he going to go after Cody, who took his title at WrestleMania, or is he going to go after his cousin, Solo Sikoa? We would not have to wait long to find out. As soon as Roman hits the ring, he hits a Superman punch on Solo, then he hits a spear, he leaves, but not before giving approval to Cody, who hits a crossroads and a 1-2-3. Cody retains. This match is not great. Roman Reigns' return was good, but I can only give this match 2.25 stars. Just wasn't that great. Hopefully Jacob Fatu is okay. Overall, for the pay-per-view or the premium live event, it is 3 stars. 2.8 rounded up is to 3. Great. It was good, but not great. The first half of the pay-per-view was definitely better than the second half. It seemed to die down after the Punk and Drew match. But there you have it, folks. There is your review ratings rundown for SummerSlam 2024. We will be back again this week for an episode of the BWF Wrestling Podcast. And also coming up, we have predictions for All In, and we will have reviews just like this for AEW All In. Until then, folks, I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Wrestling fans, if you liked what you saw in this video, please go to our Patreon account. Link is here at the bottom of the screen. For only $3 US a month, you can get our full episodes as they're released early. You can see extra content not seen on our YouTube and TikTok channels, and a whole lot more. Thank you.